In 2003, a Melbourne company called Advanced Polymer Recycling embarked on a project that would revolutionise the construction and manufacturing industries. They had developed a method of recycling a specific plastic material that was currently being dumped into landfill worldwide.
I attended a conference in Tampa in Florida, and would have been 2,000 people in there talking about barrier packaging, multi-layer packaging, and how it was going to affect the US after their little exercises with poisoning in products. I asked the question in the open forum, what about recycling? And you could have heard a pin drop in the auditorium. Nobody has any idea of how to really recycle these types of products.
The company was awarded a $1.5 million research and development start grant from an Australian government organisation known as AusIndustry. The project was due to be completed over the next 3 years.
And that is what we commercially made here on a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week operation. It's just a foam, 100% recycled foam underlay for the carpet industry. We then developed a new type of product which was denser and smoother, but that technology was developed in China. I eventually went to work in America and developed an even better product which was readily acceptable by the American market in most of the Home Depot and Lowe's outlets, which there was about 6,000. And eventually I won the award in Las Vegas for the most unique product by developing a totally different approach and developing something that looked remarkably like virgin material. And the other side of the coin was a lot of the plastic was going to be developed into a building product. So we had vertically integrated our technology into the building industry in a big way, and we were successful. And yet in 2006, the middle of 2006, the Federal Police raided all the buildings here, and under the allegation that I'd put in a fraudulent application on a research and development grant.
And what it's cost these guys, and I guess cost the Australian public as a whole regarding employment, you know, how this technology will save toxic chemicals going to landfill, etc. It is just inconceivable that these guys can have been, had their lives destroyed for want of proper due diligence. It's just astounding.
AusIndustry is an Australian government organisation designed to support companies involved in research, development and innovation in science and technology. Companies look to AusIndustry for legitimacy and backing from the Australian government. Multi-layered plastics are found in safety glass, car windscreens, food packaging and laminates. They are currently unrecyclable and not only highly toxic, but tons of the material makes its way into landfill every year. Gary Price and Greg Shah developed an innovative process that recycled multi-layered plastics and transformed the material into a usable form for the construction and manufacturing industry.
I applied for a research and development grant along with Greg Shah and Dr. Marcel Siddle in 1999 with a passion and a belief of being able to recycle co-extruded materials. Previously, these have never been recyclable before.
And all of it goes to the tip because nobody can recycle it. Hence, we developed a project and a process that we believed was going to be fully commercial. We were getting very close to the commercial output end of where we wanted to head. We still had lots of further ideas to go with.
The project was well underway, but unbeknownst to the owners, AusIndustry had started a secret investigation that set the stage for risk managers from the banks funding the project to question their support for the factory.
And so we went to a third bank, and the bank manager I already knew, and he came back and said, "Gary, I can give you the money. I can give you the loan and approve it, but I can't give you the money." And he said, if I told you why, I would lose my job. So what had actually happened is the Federal Police had already interviewed my banks.
but then all hell broke loose after what has occurred to us with the AusIndustry and the Federal Police.
And so on the morning of the raid, I only heard the screeching of brakes in our car park, and I was in my office with my bank manager. And next minute, 30 Federal Police surged through the building. So you can imagine the effect that had on my bank manager, and also on the perception. My home was raided with my mother dying. My neighbours thought that I was obviously involved in drugs or something. I knew then what I know now. I would have basically just packed up and walked out. But we were told that Greg Shah and myself the allegation was that we'd put in a fraudulent application on a research and development grant 6 years prior. And yet the outcome of the research was positive, and we'd been successful. We had built this, this enormous complex. The allegations were that we had put in a fraudulent application, even though we'd had 5 attempts and 2 physical demonstrations. The allegation was that that had all been overlooked.
We had everything going for us. We had a massive contract with Bridgestone Consumer Products making carpet underlay. We had huge potential. We actually signed up a distribution agreement with Leon Acan to distribute our product coming off the multi-layer materials. We had interest from overseas, from many companies. We had Cryovac organisation were fairly keen to see us be successful because they were going to be a major recipient of getting rid of their material and diverting their material from the landfill. We had companies in Germany that Swade Pack who were interested because we were taking a lot of their materials. We had other companies in the US from some of the major manufacturers there who were interested, Iowa, Arkansas. There was a number of different companies. Now, once they did thump on the door, we were very surprised. Why were we being targeted for fraud when we haven't been doing anything that was wrong? We were only trying our best to resolve a technical issue, one that has an impact on many people. So, yeah, very hard to piece together.